Hey guys, Dan here with Pain Free You. In this video I want to talk about stress and really just encourage you to think about if you are living in what you believe to be a stressed life, where is that stress coming from? Do we really have that much stress coming at us from the outside? Maybe we do. We've got a stressful job, a boss that's a real jerk, a spouse that's less than kind or cooperative, kids that are challenging. What's going on there? Where's the stress coming from? Inevitably, what I think many of us will find, myself included, is that most of the stress is coming from internally, not externally. Right? External stress is real. You get stuck in the park on the parkway and there's a million cars out there. That's external. But what do we do with that traffic jam? Do we kind of shake our heads and laugh and call the person that we're driving to go see and say, hey, I'm going to be late, I'm stuck in traffic, and you turn up the music and you listen to some cool tunes? Or do you sit there in the traffic jam and you pound your fists on the steering wheel, screaming that you can't believe you're stuck in this damn traffic again, right? The traffic didn't change. What changed? Which situation would provide you more or less stress? Well, certainly the second scenario, where you react to the traffic jam by getting really pissed off and screaming and pounding your fists on the steering wheel and honking your horn at 75 cars in front of you that can't move either. Right? So in that story, the stress is coming from internally. And inevitably what you will find is, if you kind of take a look at stressors, and this is a good exercise because it may even help you with the emotional discovery work too. Write out a list of things that stress you out. Unfiltered, just anything and everything that stresses you out. Write that list. And then go through it and put an I or an E next to it. Internal or external? Inevitably what you're going to find is our thoughts, our perceptions, our beliefs about ourselves, our worry about what other people think, our desire to be liked, our awkwardness in social situations, are those coming from the other people in those social situations, or are they coming from internally, from our thoughts? And so stress, is it externally created and we are just a victim to it? Or is it internally created where we are a participant to the creation of that stress? So really it's a very useful process to evaluate, because once you realize that the vast majority of our stress is internally created, you start to realize that you have much more input and control over how stressed out you feel on a regular basis. And as we relate this all back to chronic pain and chronic symptoms, these are all essentially stress illnesses or disorders. I don't even like the word illness because that makes it seem like we're sick or there's something wrong. I'll call them a disorder of the nervous system, which creates pain, a disorder of the gastrointestinal situation or system that creates gastrointestinal problems, a disorder of the immune system that allows us to get sick more often or have allergies or asthma, or even go so far as develop autoimmune disease or disorders. I don't like the word disease or illness, because in essence these stress-called disorders aren't really sicknesses. They're just the systems that are running amok because of the overwhelming negative inputs that we either create ourselves, internal stress, or react to the external world in a very stressed out way, right? That traffic story, the stress that we feel from a traffic jam, is that external or internal? I'd venture to say it's internal, because there could be somebody perfectly happy next to you on the highway, tapping their fingers on the steering wheel as they bounce along to the music, just saying, oh well, going to get there 20 minutes later than I would have liked. Big deal. And then they go on. No big deal, actually. Whereas the other guy who is raging in his car might be in a completely different mental state. That's absolutely internal stress, even though it was perhaps triggered by this external event called a traffic jam. So evaluate your stress, and what you're going to realize is you have a lot more choice as to how stressed out you choose to be. And it's an amazing thing when you realize that you have choice, because we no longer can fall back into the victim mode, because if you're choosing to be pissed off at traffic, that is a choice, and you're angry because you're choosing to be. And I get it. We may have places to be, people waiting on us, a job, a boss who's going to be upset with us. But you walk in and smile and go, hey boss, sorry man, traffic was crazy. It took me an extra half an hour to get here. It took me an hour and a half to get to work today. And he'll look at you and go, yeah, you missed half a meeting, but okay, I get it. So anyway, stress, is it internal or externally created? I think you'll find that the vast majority of our stressors are internally created. And even if you want to look at things like world news and global politics and everything else that's going on in the world, is it those circumstances and situations that are happening in the world that are stressing us the heck out? Or is it our choice to watch and participate in that in the first place, and our chosen reaction to those things? Inevitably, you're going to find out that most of the stress that's in our lives, at least me personally, is internally created. It is not coming from the outside. So with that, you can actually choose to shift how you perceive the world, how you respond to the world instead of react to it. And you can choose to lead a less stressful life. And with that, these stress illnesses, or stress disorders, are going to start to settle down. And as we calm down our thoughts, which are generated by the stresses, our immune system, our digestive system, and our nervous system can all start to come back down and calm down. So what do you guys think? Are the vast majority of your stresses created by the outside world, or are they created internally through just thoughts and fears and worries and anxieties about ourselves? Or are they internally created based on our reaction to the outside world? Let me know what you think. Comment below. Was this helpful? Did this make sense to you guys? So with that, we're going to sign off, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.